to our Sunday service. This part of our Sunday service is our meditation service. It's 10 a.m. on the Pacific Coast, which means for roughly about the next 20 plus minutes, we're going to be participating in our stillness meditation, which means if you're tuning in now, you're going to want to get comfortable. You may need to close the door, draw the blinds, prop your pillows, whatever it is, to find a comfortable position to meditate and commune with the divine, remembering that all meditation is the gateway to illumination, and it is always communion with spirit, whether that's a mantra meditation, a movement meditation, a meditation of inquiry, meditation of activation, whatever it is, it's always about communing with the divine. And so in our stillness meditation, we're going to center, we're going to move away from the surface mind, the chatter, and kind of center in and open up to the higher mind, providence. So we're going to relax. It is super easy. All you have to do is relax. So we will guide you. I will center you. We will stay in the stillness. We will come out. And part of meditation is, in this practice of stillness, is observation. We're not seeking, we're not efforting, we're not trying, we're just relaxing and observing. But we're observing from the vantage point of the soul. So sometimes it's good to imagine yourself like a sponge getting ready to absorb all good, all bliss, all wellness, because meditation is transmutational, transformational, and it is providential. So I'm going to invite you to join me today. We're going to start imagining you are like a sponge, and sometimes you have to wring out the sponge. So we're going to start by wringing out our body a little bit. I'm going to invite you to bring your awareness to your feet, to your legs, to your hips, and just scrunch and squeeze your toes. Curl them in, scrunch them, tighten them, squeeze your calves, your thighs, your buttocks. Squeeze the muscles all throughout your hips to your toes. Squeeze them and relax, and just feel any suppressed tension in the lower extremities evaporating. Then I'm going to invite you, we're going to do the same thing with our arms and our torso. I'm going to invite you to just go ahead and create fists and tighten your arms. You might bring them into your sides. Squeeze, suck in your stomach and squeeze. Tighten your shoulders. Just squeeze your whole torso, hands and arms, and relax. And the final wringing, you know when you wring out a rag, sometimes you do it in phases. We're going to do the final phase, which is wringing out our face, our scalp, and crown. I'm going to invite you to join me. Just squeeze your face, tighten it. Imagine you're even tightening your scalp. Your shoulders might come up a little bit. Just squeeze and relax. Whew. And sometimes you can even feel your crown go and open. And we're going to set that intention. We're going to set that intention. The difficult part is over. And now we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to invite you to close your eyes as we prepare to go even deeper. As always, we begin by first giving ourselves permission to relax. Just saying to ourselves in our minds, I give myself permission to relax. As we invite as we evoke and as we fully allow ourselves to feel the energy of the holy light, the divine energies of peace and love, wellness and goodness washing over us. And as we have opened ourselves up, as we have wrung ourselves out, we are now allowing ourselves to absorb and radiate the light of the soul, the effulgent radiance of the divine. And so I invite you to feel an energy cascading over you and through you and rising up from within you. As this convergence of light begins to flow throughout your physical body, I invite you to bring your awareness down to your toes and feel the energy tingling as all the cells begin to illuminate and flow into the balls of your feet, the tops of your feet, the heels, the ankles, your feet becoming softer and lighter. You can feel the energy rising, a contagion of relaxation, soothing and softening the calves and shins. You can feel the light, both as luminosity and weightlessness, flooding through your knees and kneecaps, to the cartilage, tendons, muscles, the bones, tissues and ligaments. Contagion of relaxation and rejuvenation, dissolving all density as it rises into the hips and begins to swirl around the root at the base of the spine. You can feel an energy rising up your central core, the contagion of homeostatic wellness, flushing through all the organs and tissues as it rises into your lower belly and lower back. As tingles of light flood your core, your midsection, your middle back. All heaviness, all density evaporating as the presence of the soul, the light of God fills your body. You can feel it rising into your upper chest. All the cells, genes, and DNA recalibrating and returning to wellness and peace. And as your heart opens even more, you begin to feel the soft energy of joy. Allow your heart to blossom, bathing and breathing in the holy light as it continues to rise up from your shoulder blades into your shoulders, where you feel waves of freedom, an expanse of spaciousness, overflowing the shoulders and cascading down through your biceps and triceps, flooding through the elbows, and forearms, into your wrists, palms, into the knuckles and fingers, everything becoming softer, stronger, and lighter. And that energy continues to rise into your throat and the back of your neck. As your chin and jawbone. And you can feel the energy of your heart making its way to your face. And as you let go of all expression, you can feel the joy radiating through your cheeks. You can feel the energy rising up your scalp, flooding all the follicles and hair, and the crown and third eye wide open, availing ourselves as the energy continues to rise, the energy of the soul. You can feel the energy flowing out into your emotional body, purifying, cleansing, as divine strength, peace, love, and compassion flood the emotional body. And the energy makes its way as it continues to grow and glow into the mental body. And if there are any remnants of thought, we willingly and deliberately choose to let go of thinking, to let go of analyzing, to let go of seeking, and to surrender as the surface mind merges with the higher mind. As waves of clarity evaporate all thoughts and all words, and the energy ripples and rolls out into the bliss body, feeling the infinite glory, the infinite peace, the wisdom beyond words, and the rejuvenating light of your soul, of God. And it is here that we allow ourselves to rest. It is here that we feel an energy between the heart and soul, expanding our capacities to hold more joy, more freshness, more goodness than ever before. It is here that we allow ourselves to relax, observe, and rejuvenate in the stillness. And should your mind wander at any time, just bring your awareness back to your heart and feel the joy throughout your body. brilliance, the beauty, the energy of your soul, of the universal life force energy. I'm going to invite you to feel your heart opening and stretching a little bit more. I'm going to invite you to become aware of a wave of energy that rises from your heart to your soul star, which resides about a meter above your crown, at the top, the north pole of your energy field. And just feel it sinking with your breath. The wave of energy traveling up and down, back and forth from your soul star, the energy of your soul to your heart. And allow your heart to be so filled with the desires of your soul. Feel the coherence. Feel the connection. There's nothing to do except allow yourself to reverberate with the vibration of desire. The very thing that God, that your soul is seeking to brilliantly and blissfully express through you. And just feel that energy rising up and down, a wave of light, amplifying, magnifying, soothing and softening, while strengthening the coherence of desire, which brings about joy. There's an intelligence in this energy. I'm going to invite you to bring your awareness to your crown, the top of your head. And feel a wave of energy traveling up and down from your heart to your crown, creating coherence with your desires and your thoughts. Up and down from your heart to your crown, to your mind. Just aligning, accepting the joys into your mind of your soul's desire and that which makes your heart sing. And then I invite you to bring your awareness down to the south pole of your energy field. If you were standing, you'd see it about a meter or so beneath the bottoms of your feet. To your earth star, your 10th chakra, and feel a wave of energy going from your crown to your 10th chakra, your earth star, up and down, softly and gently creating coherence, that you may ground heaven on earth as the desires of your soul, the joys of your heart, the brilliance of God, as you. Feel that energy pulsing down, up and down, from your earth star to your crown. Letting all that energy flow on its own, amplifying the coherence that creates enthusiasm. We take a moment as we come back into a lucid state of divine awareness, in deep and abiding gratitude, knowing that just by relaxing, opening, availing to the universal life force energies of intelligence beyond intellect, of joy and love beyond human pleasure, of heaven on earth to, through, and as us. I'm grateful to know that something wonderful has taken place just by relaxing and just by being still. We have increased our divine receptivity. We have increased our divine energy quotient. And we allow ourselves to take a holy breath, just inhaling that light and releasing an ah. How grateful I am to know that there is no difficulty in the divine. There is only ease and spaciousness, an abundance of fertile magnificence, flowering and blossoming itself everywhere as our lives. We say yes to this great remembering of knowing who we truly are, born from the heart, the light, the mind of God. We say yes to remembering the truth that the very same intelligence, the very same brilliance, the very same beauty that governs the universe governs our lives. And as we surrender to it, as we accept it, as we allow it to move and groove and behoove us, we anchor it. So I'm going to once again invite you to bring your awareness to your feet and just kind of push your feet. If you've got them on the ground, push them into the ground. If they're crossed or sticking out in front of you, just push the energy into your feet so that we may ground this goodness as we come back into a lucid state of divine awareness, taking a moment to marinate in this energy, to acclimate. And as you open your eyes whenever you feel ready, I welcome you back from our meditation service. If you just tuned in momentarily or while we were midway through our meditation, welcome. I'm Reverend Keith. This is Soul Center OC, and we're getting ready to start our regular service in just a few minutes, or in a couple minutes actually. We're going to take a little momentary break, redo the set, and get ready for you. So if you need to use the restroom, now would be the time. We're going to be back in about 2 minutes, so we will see you in just a moment. Good morning, Soul Center. Welcome to our Sunday service. I'm Reverend Keith. If you're just tuning in, we're getting ready to rock and roll and groove the soul. Before we do that, well, you know what? No, we're going to do that even while we're doing our announcements. Why not? Our announcements are pretty groovy. We only groove here at Soul Center. So, our announcements for our community, our Spiritual Life Hacks event was postponed. We had some scheduling issues a couple weeks ago, and we are going to reschedule it, so we don't have that date solidified yet, but keep your eyes peeled. It'll be posted on our website, on social media, and of course it will be in our newsletter. As most of you know, our new class called Prayer and the Mystical Origins of the New Thought Movement, facilitated by myself, by yours truly, will be starting this Wednesday, 6:15 p.m. We're going to go over the fundamentals of affirmative prayer, as well as the history and mystery of the New Thought Ageless Wisdom movement. the Agape movement, and some of the masters as one of the four fathers of our movement, Ernest Holmes, also the four mothers of our movement, Ava Bell Werber, and Myrtle Fillmore, Charles Fillmore. We're going to explore the New Thought movement, and of course our beloved Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith as a modern-day mystic. So please sign up for that class. It is part of the Soul Center licensing of prayer chaplains. If you want to become a licensed prayer chaplain, this is one of the required classes, so we invite you to please take advantage of that. Please know, speaking of prayer chaplains, that our prayer chaplaincy program, we have our prayer chaplains. Our first class graduated last year, and they are at our community service. If you have any prayer requests, please feel free to send them to info@soulcenteroc.com. And we are holding everybody in prayer. If a prayer request comes in, it stays in our prayer chaplaincy on our list for 30 days. We've got a powerful group of prayer chaplains, and they are incredible, and I am truly indebted and grateful to them for just being of service and loaning their consciousness to us. Well, they're not loaning it, they're giving it. So we're going to say yes to that in deep gratitude. We're also, just a reminder, that our daily affirmative prayer every Monday through Saturday, 9:30 a.m., you can find that on Facebook or on our Facebook page, as well as if you want to get the Zoom information, you can come in via Zoom. And of course, we have our beloved Akili Beckwith every Tuesday evening for our Course in Miracles gathering online. And that is something that you can come in and out of anytime you want, and participate in the teachings of A Course in Miracles. Also, as I mentioned earlier, you want to sign up for our newsletter and get all the comings and goings of what we're doing in our community, classes, events, etc. Also, I just wanted to remind you that we are in a fundraising time right now. We are trying to go above and beyond what we've ever had. So 2 things I'm asking. If it feels right and delicious to you, please go ahead and donate. We are trying to get together and amass the funds that we need to get back into a building. So we are working on getting back for our in-person gatherings. We're looking for that space, so we want you to do 2 things. I've got some marching orders. One is, somebody was saying hello. One is, please consider in your heart to tithe to our beloved community so that we can expand and grow. 2, hold it in your consciousness that we thrive in all that we do. And 3, just hold in your consciousness that the perfect space is revealing itself even before now for us to come back in person. We will keep you posted as to when we're coming back in person, which is going to be pretty soon. So keep your eyes posted on social media and in our newsletter. And happy Mother's Day. I'm truly grateful, and there are 2 mothers that I'm exceedingly grateful for. 3. I'm exceedingly grateful for my mom, who's on the other side of the veil. But the 2 mothers, our beloved Patricia Griffith, who is taking a day to rejuvenate again, but I'm 90% sure she's going to be here next week. We want to just give such great thanks for her and her daughter, the other mother, who said yes. They said yes to this community. They said yes. They were inspired. They said yes to the call, and here we are. So I'm grateful. We're sending lots of love to our beloved founders, Patricia Griffith and Jessica Susalik, and so many other beautiful members of our community. Grateful for that. With that being said, I am going to invite one of our prayer chaplains to come up. Vivian's going to bring us into a vibration with our reading and our affirmations.
Good morning. My name is Vivian, and our reading this morning is from Agape's Inner Visions, submitted by Reverend Wendy Silver, entitled Mothering. One of the most transcendent and undervalued roles that exists in the human incarnation is that of the mother. The experience of being a mother can be likened to seeing your heart moving around on legs outside of your body. When a mom embodies her emotional and spiritual sovereignty and remembers her oneness with God, she will thrive and be able to provide a sacred container for her child to grow and flourish in. However, there are no perfect mothers, which is why it is important to be gentle with yourself when you are feeling challenged as a mother. It is also why aunties, grandparents, and God families are so meaningful, because even spiritual mothers need uplifting up. If all that you can be grateful for is that your mother was the vehicle for you to enter this dimension, that is okay. No blame, shame, or judgment. The only perfect mother is the Divine Mother, and she loves you unconditionally. Our society would be wise to honor the power and contribution to society made by mothers more than once a year on just Mother's Day. Being a mother is the only job that requires round-the-clock attendance. No sick days, no unpaid vacations, no pay. The days are long, but the years fly by. Bless you, Mama, for all that you do. And now I invite Reverend Keith to the evocation.
Oh, thank you, Vivian. Thank you, our beloved Reverend Wendy Silvers. And I'm going to invite you to join me as we tune and turn within. We move into the prayer field, and as we do, I invite you to let the prayer envelop you fully and completely, lift you to the highest realms of infinite good. How grateful I am to know this is the very nature of prayer, the nature of God. To lift, compel, propel, thrive, and alive us with more joy, more beauty, for this is the nature of life. Life is joy, life is beauty, life is good, and life is God. We return home into this awareness by surrendering. We open our hearts, our bodies, our emotions, our minds, and we allow ourselves to breathe the holy breath. We allow ourselves to see the holy sights, hear the holy sounds, for we know that the holy sights, sounds, and breath are joy itself. And we personify that when we allow the energy of the soul and the great remembering of who we are. Each and every one of us, born from the heart, the mind, the light, the love of eternal magnificence. This is what it means to be born in the image and likeness of God, and you and I and we and every single person on this planet is, regardless of any personality traits, regardless race or religion, regardless of gender, regardless of any accolades or titles or geography, God is thriving itself, and should we choose to say yes to it, we anchor heaven on earth, and we remember that we are not only the blessed, we are the blessors. And God only exudes blessings throughout all eternity and all life. God is exuding the blessings right now of beauty as nature, as waterfalls that cascade down and emit negative ions into the air, as rainbows that spray across the sky, as clouds that drop rain and water the flora, as the brilliance of the stars that expand throughout the entire universe and all galaxies, and as the brilliance of your body temple and the perfect blueprint that resides within it. There is a perfect blueprint, and we say yes to experiencing that, feeling that, knowing it. And remember, it is our job as we surrender to a greater and grander vision and version of our life to bless everything and everyone. And so I am grateful to bless you all tuning in here live or watching in the archives. I invite you to receive these blessings. I bless you with wellness and goodness, with joy and prosperity. We bless this service knowing something amazing is taking place, that we have tuned in here to expand in more good and more joy and more peace and more love and more prosperity than ever before. And we know that it is God's good pleasure to bring forward the kingdom of heaven, for that is all that God does, is bring forward bliss, joy, beauty, oneness, goodness, wholeness, serendipity. We say yes to it, we bless it, and we accept it. We bless our family members and friends. We bless this service. We bless all cultures and peoples and nations and religions around the world. We let joy have its way to, through, and as our beingness throughout our bones, muscles, and tissues. We claim it so, and we allow it to be so. Amen. And now Vivian's going to come back up with our affirmations.
Hello again. If you're able, you might want to stand to say the affirmations a little more powerfully. Okay. So I will read our affirmations as a call and response. I'll speak a line, and then we'll repeat it back together. I am created in the image and likeness of God, whole, complete, and perfect.
I am created in the image and likeness of God, whole, complete, and perfect.
The rhythm of joy and right action takes over my life.
The rhythm of joy and right action takes over my life.
I live in divine guidance and let God show the way.
I live in divine guidance and let God show the way.
My gratitude and generosity prime the pump of my prosperity.
My gratitude and generosity prime the pump of my prosperity.
My life is a living decree of infinite possibility.
My life is a living decree of infinite possibility.
All praise and glory is to God.
All praise and glory is to God.
So be it.
So be it.
Amen.
Amen.
And now, it is my great and humble pleasure to bring forward, of course, the magnificent Brian Sherrick and Jesse Godoy, and Jackie Simone Elliott, who I love beyond all words. I just want to squeeze you so much. She rocks, they rock, we rock, and you're about to be rocked.
Thank you, Reverend Key. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. This song I actually wrote for my mom. It's to the mother in all of us, that feminine energy, and to all the mothers. Thank you. Yeah. Ooh, Lord. Pretty and sweet a day, the righteous fruit. You never complain, worked 3 jobs and went to night school. Always a lady, a heart big as the sea, giving you everything, so we wouldn't hurt for anything. Cook, clean, even iron and starched our sheets. Secretary and president of a high school band here in Leeds. Church on Sunday, Saturday school, symphonies, school and adversity, or poverty, define our reality. You'd say, breathe, don't settle for less. God's given talent and gifts, always give your best. Ooh, baby, breathe, the other side is the love. Nothing compares to my mama's love. Yeah, my mama's love. Yeah, yeah. Radiant example. How could I ever stand in your shoes? So one day my daughter sees me the same way I see you. Slipped on to the other side, with me holding your hand. Knew I had to let go. Hey, unbearable. What am I to do? 'Cause I'm missing you.
Jackie Simone. I love you. Mwah. She is the best. I have a little secret crush on her. And Jesse and Brian, thank you so much. Soul Center, good morning. Good morning, welcome. Happy Mother's Day. A day where we celebrate mothers around the globe, and we celebrate the nurturing nectar of the divine feminine. So welcome, my name is Reverend Keith. I'm welcoming you to our Sunday Soul Center service where we get even more soul-centered than ever before. Remembering we're part of the Agape Nation, part of the Agape community of the New Thought Ageless Wisdom Teachings. So if this is your first time tuning in, whether you're live or on the archives, welcome. What is the New Thought Movement? The New Thought Movement is modern mystics over the past 150, 200 years or so that have said yes to surrendering to the great remembering of their divinity, and that there is an intelligence that governs the universe that all religions talk to. All religions have been inspired by, whether it is the sacred text of the Bhagavad Gita, the Hebrew Bible, the Christian Bible, the Quran, or any other of the sacred texts around the world. When you move into the mystical nature, the forefathers and the foremothers of our movement were aware that there is a power and a presence that is living joy, living truth, and that it bore itself as you, as me, and understanding what the true mystical nature of being born in the image and likeness of God is, to have a brilliant and beautiful experience of heaven on earth. We are part of that movement that honors those sacred teachings and that asks of you to participate. We ask you to participate in the conscious evolution of your own life. We ask you, and we provide the surroundings and the wisdom and the teachings to embody growing through benevolence, growing and expanding through joy. Now, of course, every once in a while, even in the best circumstances, we hit a stumbling block here or there. But to know the laws and the principles that govern the universe and then to use them to be spiritually advantageous, to take advantage of the divine. We are here to exploit the divine, and we give you the teachings and the tools. That's why you're tuned in here. We're not bystanders. We don't just sit there and go, oh, okay, and just show up for a particular holiday service or something like that. We ask you to participate to whatever degree. This is a grand adventure, and all we want is to allow everybody to experience the best of who they are. So welcome. Welcome to our Sunday service. We are continuing the month of nurturing your good. Nurturing your good is the very nature of life. It is the actual, that is what we are to do. That is what all mystical practice and all religions at the mystical teaching are asking you to do. Nurture your good. Cultivate your good. Feed your good. That's what we're here to do. And the topic for today is the mother of invention is you. You are the inventor of your life. You are the creator of your life in the human dimension. You are the director. You are the writer. You are the producer. You are the inventor. And we all have heard the old expression that necessity is the mother of invention, and there's a little addendum that goes with that, and desire is the mother of intention. Necessity is the mother of invention, and desire is the mother of intention, and when you combine those together, you get a brilliant experience, but it does require a spiritual discipline. Spiritual discipline is different than a discipline you might take to the gym or a discipline you might take to your studies in university or college. It's different than a discipline you might take into the armed forces, because the discipline requires that you just be still. The discipline requires that you relax. The discipline requires that you open to the providential guidance of your soul, which is only there to serve you, to bring joy. That is its purpose. You are here to experience joy. Now, there's a lot of us out there that don't always experience joy, and maybe don't even understand what joy truly is. Joy is an eternal quality of God that is ceaselessly expressing itself everywhere, seeking to have its way through you. Now, a lot of us, we get sidetracked by temporal energies such as happiness. And sometimes happiness does align with joy, but most of the time, happiness is predicated on if this, then that. If you do this, so-and-so, then I'll be happy. If you don't do that, I'm going to be angry. We want to go ahead and open up to the eternal frequencies. And so it comes in handy to kind of understand, how does the universe work? How do these principles work? How does the laws work? And so as we look at the law of creation, if you had no issues whatsoever, there would be a divine idea, the desire, and that would make its way into your heart, reveal itself to your mind. When we closed our meditation service this morning, we created coherence between the soul, the heart, the mind and the earth started ground that creative juice. We are creating coherence. When you are coherent with desire, that's when things start to really blossom in your life. We want to say yes to our desire. So we want to know the difference between space-time and time-space. Space-time is what most of us do. When you're in space, that means that there's distance, there's up, down, right, left, hot, cold, there's distance in space. And so time, when you're in space, it's going to take time for me to get from point A to point B. If I'm walking, I'm going to move from point A to point B, and it's going to take time. So time, space, when you look out into the world and you become addicted to time, space, and think things are going to take time, you've lost connection to, rewind. Space-time, when you lose track and you connect it to space-time, because I'm connected to the space, then dictates temporal time. Then we start to be addicted to the world, and we think that the world is going to provide us with what we need. What we really want to do is become connected to time-space. Time-space allows us to move into a place of awareness of the eternal, where you can observe time and space from an eternal perspective, and you can access the law of creation that is not tied to time and space until you activate it. When you activate it through a choice connecting to desire, so God, through you, through your soul, is seeking to express something into the world, and when you're in time-space, not space-time, you can access the wisdom that shows up as desire, and then you can act on it. So just like I was saying earlier, as we continue to celebrate our founders, our beloved Patricia Griffith and Jessica Suselik, who I love and adore, I love you, they said yes. They captured a vision of Soul Center, and they said yes to it, and allowed it to come into space-time. And then we're cultivating that to bring it in, always keenly aware of time-space. So when we go into meditation, we're moving into time-space, which allows us to take eternal. So when you rise above space-time, and you're in time-space, you're witnessing. You can look down and you can see the dimensions of time. You can see all the lifetimes, all the possibilities. You have a quantum perspective when you go into meditation, and you can look. So a lot of times, we talk about past lives and things of that nature. Sometimes we even do future life progressions. What you're really doing is you're lifting up into time-space, you're observing space-time, and you can look down and you can see 1803 and 1904 and 2001 and 2021. Not only can you see that from a linear perspective above looking down, you can also see all the infinite potentials and possibilities, but the one you're looking for is the highest, greatest, grandest of your life. The one you're looking for is the one that is infused with the joy and the peace of eternal energies. There are eternal energies that are seeking to express and seeking to explore through you. Now, sometimes as if we're not so finessed in our meditation practice, sometimes we don't even know what our desires are. We've gotten so lost in space-time that we think a carnal want is a desire. A carnal want, oh, I want that house, I want that job, I want that position, I want that car, I want that relationship with so-and-so. We want it so bad, and we're stuck in time, in space-time. So we want to remove ourselves, and we want to move from either or, because actually when I say, I want this, we're moving into either or energy. Either or is, if I get this, or I don't, then that. And that is tied to the temporal. What we really want to do is saying, I'm allowing the greatest relationship. I'm allowing divine right creative employment. I'm allowing my good. And if I don't know what that good is, then we say, show me what brings me joy. I remember the first time I experienced, well, maybe it wasn't the first time, but it was a profound time. I was sitting in facilitating a class, and during the class we were doing this meditation, and believe it or not, I go deep even if I'm facilitating a meditation, and I was out in time, space, I was in the observer, I was communing with my soul, and I felt something that I couldn't put my finger on. I felt something that was wanting to express and emerge and experience itself through me. And the best I could do when we came out of the meditation and people were sharing, the best I could do was like, there's something that I want to do. It has something to do with rejuvenation. It has something to do with expansion, but I don't know what it is. And sometimes we know, like, oh, I'm gonna sign up for this retreat. I'm gonna sign up. You just know, you feel called, you feel pulled. But I didn't know what it was. But I'm like, you know what? I don't know what it is, but I'm saying yes to it. And the very next day, this client, student, angel, brilliant, beautiful, magnificent person, she came up to me and she said, you know what? I was thinking, I really want to gift you a trip and to a retreat. It's a 2-week Panchakarma retreat. And it's all about rejuvenation and expansion and cleansing. And you cleanse your body temple through diet and through herbs. And you cleanse your emotional body and your mental body. And she was explaining it all to me. And she said, it's all expense paid, including airfare and accommodations and everything. And I was like, whoa. My whole body started tingling because I knew that this was the answer to what I caught from time, space. It was the answer to what I didn't even know what I wanted, but there it was. And I still, even after the description, I wasn't entirely sure. Then my ego started to creep in. And my ego was like, oh, this might be inappropriate for me to take a gift such as this from a client / student / who's a beloved friend. I don't know if this would be appropriate for me to do. So I said, give me a moment to be with that. And this is how you allow yourself to kind of nurture your ego. Because sometimes the ego gets and go, oh, that's not appropriate. You ought to do that. In some cases, it might even say, you don't deserve this. So I sat with it and I put my ego's comments off to the side and I allowed myself, and oh, sure enough, yes. And I went on this brilliant, nurturing, rejuvenating retreat, which was truly a retreat. It was so expansive and so brilliant and so cleansing. And it was like, wow, the whole time I was just like, yes, this is magnificent. I got something I didn't even know existed, but I could feel it. So I'm going to invite you to be available to that. There are things that bring you joy that you don't even know what they are. But as you move from space-time into time-space, and you allow yourself to avail to that, now that also will bring about transmutation, whether it's for healing of stuff in your body temple. Show me the divine brilliance of immaculate healing with regards to, and fill in the blank. Whether that's healing in my body temple, maybe it's in my spinal column, maybe it's in an organ, or maybe it's in a joint, whatever it is. Show me. Maybe it's a relationship that requests, show me. I want to know. I want to know that perfect, holy. This past couple of days I was teaching a class where we were focusing on like, yes, there's a perfect blueprint of sacred holy relationships between you and everyone. Nobody's left out of this equation. And we want to seek and find that. We want to call it forward. So now what can also happen, years ago, I used to facilitate a particular meditation group on a weekly basis. And there was this woman who came to the group. And so we sat there, and one night she was in the meditation and she got a download. And she, oh my God, and she journaled about it, and afterwards people were sharing about what came through in the meditation, and then and she was like, yes, and the guidance was to do a particular sequence of events because she was going into a new area of life. She was a mom, she had a youngster, and so, but she was so filled and so illuminated, and when she was in the meditation and after the group, it was absolutely, yes, this was providential wisdom. Yes, I'm going to do this. Well, then all of a sudden, a few days pass, and she's coming back for our next weekly gathering. Oh, how about da-da-da? Oh, because she was supposed to sign up for this and that and whatever it was. And, oh, no. And she started giving me all the excuses of why she couldn't do it because the ego took over and talked her out of it. Oh no, because you can't leave your kids. Oh no, because of this. Oh, I don't know if I have the money to do that. She defied the providence of the soul. The good news is, the soul, the divine, never punishes, never goes, oh well, so sorry, you missed out on your opportunity. All it does is say, okay, we'll just put that over here on hold until you're ready for it. So she talked her out, and because, she wasn't really open to being persuaded, like never say no to the soul, never say no to God. Always say yes. Yes to desire, yes to the call. That's what you want to say yes to. So it was a year later, and she learned this would kind of fall under the umbrella of what Reverend Michael says, being pushed by the pain or pulled by the vision. She had an opportunity to be pulled by the vision. She caught the vision. And then she said, no, we want to go ahead. And so it's a year later, and all of a sudden, she's still working on kind of stuff and this and that. She took a little time off of meditation for these and that excuses, came back, and all of a sudden that same experience showed up. And she was like, yes. And it had built a little momentum because she felt a little bit like a failure, a little bit like, oh God, I can't believe I caved in, and I didn't do it. She felt a little regret. So now, that energy, it's a contagion. It'll grab you, and we know in the ancient Aramaic language, the root of the word prayer is to set a trap. And when you set the trap for God, you set a trap and you capture the idea, you capture the wisdom, then you want to let it have its way with you. You want to be infected with bliss, infected with joy. You want to let it have its way. So similar, when I was like, well, I don't know if I can take this, and my surface mind wanted to talk me out of taking that gift, because it's like, oh, you don't want to create some sort of obligation to somebody else because they gifted you something or something like that. And it's like, no, that is of space-time, and we don't want to get involved in that. We're moving into time, space, and we're saying yes, and we're being humble. So she said, okay, and this time, because history was repeating itself in a very short amount of time, she said yes. And she started to follow that the guidance. And the universe just said, okay, here we go. We're going to just continue where you left off a little over a year ago and allow this to fulfill itself. And it was something that her heart wanted to do with her career. And even though she had 2 children, and one of the concerns was, and this is where the prayer within the prayer is. The prayer within the prayer is, well, let's, as we would say in the New Thought teachings of Science of Mind, let's do a treatment. Let's do a spiritual mind treatment, because sometimes when you have a call, there'll be something that says, oh, no, you can't do that. So then what you do is you heal the thing that says, oh, no, you can't do that. That's where you bring a treatment to that. So it's like, oh, so she was worried, like, oh, I won't be such a good mom because I'm going to have to take time and go over here, and then I'll be neglectful, and da-da-da. And as we're celebrating Mother's Day, mothers, you get to have it all. You get to be a mom and nurture your kids, and you get to have time for yourselves, and you get to grow, and you get to enjoy life, and you don't have to put things on hold. Does it take a little finessing? Does it take a little caressing? Yes. It takes nurturance. And that's why in Scripture it says, keep your mind on things above and not of the earth. That's when we move into time-space, where we allow ourselves to observe, and then we treat. We treat the things, the excuses as to why we can't do something, which is what we then did. Because at that point, so history had influenced her, which made her a little cranky about the whole thing, because I feel like I wasted a whole year, la la la. And it's like, no, in God all things are made new. We're going to make it all new. So we started to treat, we started to bring spiritual practice to excuses. So, because what we learn from this is, I'm not going to say no to God. I'm going to say yes to my soul. I'm going to say yes to providence, no matter what. No matter what. So I'm going to invite you to join me today to be in the no matter what zone. No matter what, I say yes to good. No matter what, I say yes to prosperity. No matter what. Now, there is a difference. There is a difference between multitasking in the temporal world and multitasking in the divine world. When you multitask in the divine world, you give the marching orders to the universe of creation, and it goes before you to make the crooked path straight. When you multitask in the temporal world, you go before you and make the crooked path straight, and that is a lot of work. It's exhausting, and it will take you 1,000 times longer to do what God could do in a nanosecond. That is what surrender is. Surrender to your good. Say yes to the call. Don't say no to the call. Don't acquiesce to excuses. So I'm going to invite you to join me right now as we prepare to go into prayer. Bring your heart, your hands to your heart, and have an awareness of your heart. Like we did in meditation earlier, I'm going to invite you to bring an awareness to your soul star, or just to the energy of your soul. For those of you who like to know where it is, that is more of a space-time experience. It's up here, creating coherence between the heart and soul, but it is omnipresent, so it's everywhere. The idea is that you are connecting coherence, and let that coherence make its way to your crown. So my intention is to join my soul with my heart with my crown, with my mind, so that I may be a house united. I may be on the same page of my goodness. I may be on the same page as prosperity and joy and sacred holy relationships. We take a moment as we create that coherent connection, soul, heart, mind. And now I invite you to bring your awareness down to your earth star, the south pole of your energy field. Mind, heaven on earth, grounding. Create that coherence. You don't need to know how it works from an intellectual standpoint, solely through intention. We've established a heart, soul, heart, mind, heaven on earth connection. And I'm going to invite you to just be available to what is it, as we are in this cohesive coherence, what is it that brings me joy, that makes my heart sing, that I don't even have a clue about from the temporal? What is it? And as we open to that, you'll begin to feel an energy washing over you that will marinate itself, and it'll express itself. It'll merge and converge itself into your bones, cells, and tissues. And we choose today to always say yes to the call of our soul, even if it means relinquishing an idea, a habit, a pattern. We say yes to the goodness and the grandeur, the magnificence of the soul. And we allow it to be fun. We allow it to be joy-filled and joyful, for that is the very nature of God, the very nature of life. We say yes to that today. And as we do, not needing to have any kind of an intellectual understanding, as we surrender to the divinity that is your own magnificence, meaning that the ego simply rises its vibration to the vibration of the soul, to the vibration of ever-expanding good, we come into the great remembering of knowing that there is a light and intelligence, a brilliance, a beauty, a love, back of all life. That which we call God, that which we call love, that which we call joy, the Creator, the One. We open to that. We allow ourselves to be so benevolently vulnerable. We open our hearts, our bodies, our emotions. We become naked before the divine. We allow ourselves to be benevolently vulnerable. We allow the law of transmutation to heal any erroneous ideas, conceptions, perceptions, patterns. And we open to the great remembering of knowing who you are, who we are, who I am. We, each one of us, born from the light, the heart, the mind, the love of God. You are the beloved in whom God is so pleased, and you have the power of the cosmos. You have the power of the kingdom of heaven within you. You are a microcosmic expression. We are microcosmic expressions of the Most High. We surrender to the law of creation, and we allow it to elegantly fulfill itself as we know ourselves, see ourselves, love ourselves, embrace ourselves as God sees, knows, and loves us, as our soul loves, knows, and sees us. We embrace that today even more than ever before. Even more. And I'm grateful to know that each and every one of us has every talent, every gift, every ability. We have all the patience, all the faith, all the wisdom is at our disposal. It is right here. And we choose to nurture it. We know that we are the inventors of our lives. And we say yes to that nurturing mother energy that cultivates and brings out the very best. The mother of invention is you. And we say yes to God as that, to, through, and as you in benevolent, glorious, and beautiful ways. And so I'm grateful to know that each of us is saying yes to more prosperity, more joy, more sacred holy relationships, more self-love, more self-esteem, more prosperity than ever before, more serendipity than ever before. We say yes to this, and we move into a space of divine receptivity. We must receive our good. We have opened to it. We've invited it. We've evoked it. Now we embrace it into our hearts, into our bodies, into our lives. We let it be good. We claim it so. And we allow it to be so. And we release this prayer into the law of creation, fully and completely surrendering and accepting its good, better than we can ever imagine with our surface mind. We ground it. We let it be. Feel it. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your toes. Squeeze your feet. Ground it. Bring it to your Earth Star. Let it be so. Let it be now. And we agree by saying, and so it is.
So it is.
So I let it be.
So I let it be.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Aho.
Aho.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Mahalo.
Mahalo.
Hotep.
Hotep.
And hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Ooh, I think I just got an idea of what it's going to be like when we come back in person and people here. So, all right, Soul Center. Feels so good. Always good after prayer and meditation. Marinate. You know, I've seen sometimes people, they do a meditation and they're like, oh, no. And the meditation's over. They're like, oh, okay, go. And they go right from time, space, back to space, time. Nah. Let time, space, let it have its way with you. Let it matriculate into your bones. And as you let it matriculate into your bones, we're going to participate right now in circulation. It is our time for tithing. Remember, we're in our fundraising month. It might go more than a month. We want to go above and beyond what we've ever done before. Please hold that in consciousness, not only as you participate in circulation, but as you participate in the prayer field of what you're holding that we are moving into the most brilliant and beautiful building ever, that we have more than enough resources, more than enough prosperity. And we know that when we tithe, we are just circulating. We are circulating. We are letting it go out and having it return back to us minimally tenfold. So you can text to donate right now if you choose to. You can text, it's on the screen there, the word GIVE to area code 669-342-2157. You can also send a check by regular mail, by the post office. The address is right there on the screen. And you can also go to soulcenteroc.com. On our homepage, right towards the bottom, there's that orange button where you can hit donate. All of this is safe and secure, and all of it is tax deductible. So we are a 501c3 religious organization, so please, as you hold your tithe in your heart and prayers, we hold you in that space as you contribute. We're going to invite the brilliant, the amazing, the Jackie Simone Elliott, and Brian and Jesse. I love them all. All right.
Yay, Brian and Jesse.
I'm ready.
Don't walk the way I used to. I don't talk the same no more. 'Cause I know I am connected to the infinite.
Center, we're going to do prayer for our offering. So thank you, Jackie Simone. Oh,
Thank
man.
you,
Jesse, Brian. Oh, all right. We rock here at Soul Center. Okay, we are ready to bless our offering. You know, as a matter of fact, this is what we should be doing. When you pay a bill, do what we're about to do. Bless it. When you pay a friend, when you pay the waiter, the waitress, whatever, when you tip them, bless it. That's how we consciously participate in our spiritual evolution. We bless it. Even, you know, we're so lucky that on our currency it says, "In God we trust." I think that's just awesome. All right, we're going to go ahead and extend our prayers through our hearts and our hands, our blessing through our hearts and our hands. How grateful I am to know something wonderful has taken place here. Something magnificent is rising up through each of us individually and collectively. How grateful I am for this brilliant music, for this brilliant day, for this brilliant community, and for this brilliant offering. We say yes to all being so brilliantly grateful for the circulation. We say yes for the individual expansion of prosperity and the collective expansion of prosperity. Truly grateful for this and so much more. What a brilliant day. What a brilliant you. What a brilliant we. We allow it all to be good. We allow it to expand benevolently, brilliantly, immediately, immaculately, elegantly. And we say yes to the soul. We say yes to the call. We say yes to grounding heaven on earth. We do so, we claim it so, and we allow it to be so in deep and abiding appreciation, knowing it is God's good pleasure to only radiate blessings. So it is.
So it is.
Amen.
Amen.
All right, Soul Center. We're getting ready to do our peace song. And so I'm going to invite you to go ahead and come forward. We're all holding hands virtually. Bring in the little ones if you need to. Thanks, Soul Center. To begin, flow through, express as you, as me, as we. Grateful to know we have everything we need. Something magnificent has taken place. And we are saying yes as we grab it, as we embrace it, as we ground it, and we go forth and multiply the consciousness of ever-expanding good. We say yes to that today, and we simply agree by saying, and so let it be.
And so it is.
So it is.